and welcome to your last video of the year. Woohoo! Congratulations! You guys have done awesome. I'm proud of you guys for sticking with it. So why don't you start the video with a little review. Just take a quick pause and do questions 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then come back and see how you do on it. Alright, so it says, what number is 42% of 60? So remember, the what is x, is means equal, 42% of means multiply, 60. So we've got 42% of means multiply, 60. You guys get 25.2. So 42% of 60 is 25.2. So 2.4% of 26 is what number? So I can just turn on my calculator and go for it, right? No dividing yet. Okay, did you guys get 0.624? All right, what percent of 500 is 2? So we'll divide first. And then remember, the calculator is going to give you the decimal form. There's the decimal form. And then that's not the percent though. To get to the percent, you have to multiply by 100 and then add the percent symbol in. So 0.4%. Remember, whenever you're asked to find a percent, you got to multiply by 100. So 1575 is what percent of 2500? So to get x by itself, we'll divide both sides by 2,500. Okay, the calculator is going to give you the decimal form. Okay, so there's the decimal. Now you could also hit the change to a percent, which is the second set of parentheses, or multiply by 100. All right. Don't forget that multiply by 100 piece. That's a piece that a lot of people forget to do. Okay, so it says, do you agree that a percent problem can be thought of as, I like this one, a percent equals the part over the total, or you could say a percent times the total equals the part. However you want to think about it. A percent of a total is equal to the part, or a percent is the part over the total. Okay, let's look at it. If the country music accounts for 32% of all downloads from an online music store, how many country songs total are sold on a day? So how many country songs are sold on a day with a total of 1,425 songs downloaded? So part of those were country songs. So 32% equals the part, the country songs, over the total. You could write it like this, or you could say 32% of sum total equals the part. In this case, country songs. Pull this up a little bit. Okay, these are the same things, because look, you could cross multiply and go x equals 32% of the 1425. Either way, right? So the part is a percent times the total. I usually say a percentage is the part over the whole, or part over the total, and then I just cross multiply. So we've got 32% times 1425. So it looks like 456 songs were the country songs. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try another one. Ready? So I kept writing down a percent times the total is the part, and you can use that. At a concert, there were 30,000 people in the crowd. So that obviously is the total. And 47% of that total are females. So how many females were at the concert? All right, so we have a percent of the total equals the part. Okay, so 47% of the 30,000 people were equal to women. So 47% of the 30,000 are females. So it looks like there were 14,100 females. All right? All right, let's try another one. This is where you're missing the total instead of missing the part. So it says an inspector found 15 defective batteries during an inspection, and this was 3% of the total. All right? So 3% of sum total, called T, equals the part. So do you see you're going to have to divide by 3% to find the total? So it looks like there must have been 500 batteries that the inspector looked at. 3% of them were defective. Here, let's take 3% of 500. See, you get 15. Okay, so last year for Thanksgiving break, there were 17 freshmen absent. And the assistant principal said that was 4% of the total number of freshmen. So 4% of the total number of freshmen were absent, and that equals 17. So if we wanted to know how many were in the total, we would just take 17 and divide it by 4%. So it looks like there's 425 freshmen in the freshman class. And then the last one, now remember, you can always think of these as a percent equals a part over the total. So if you're missing a percent, you're going to put the part over the total, and then don't forget to multiply by 100 to get the percent, okay? So a family spends $380 dining out of their $5,680 income, monthly income. So what percentage is that? So when you put this into your calculator and hit enter, that's the decimal. That's why you got to remember to multiply it by 100. So if they wanted you to round it to the nearest hundredth, or two decimals, it would be 6.69%. Or 6.7%, however they want you to round it on my math lab. Okay? All right, so they're talking about a percent of applications that were accepted for a nursing program. So there were a total of 256,000 applications, and 101,000 were accepted. So a percent is a part over the total. And then don't forget, you have to multiply it by 100 in order to be able to call it a percent with the percent symbol. So there's my decimal, and then times 100. So it says round to the nearest percent. So about 39% of the applicants were accepted. So this is what you have to remember. A percent equals a part over the total. That's the big guns right there. Part over the total. All right? Okay. I'm not going to worry about this one, okay? We're going to skip that one. We're not going to do percent increase or decrease. So we are just going to keep rolling. That is not on the test. That's not on the final. We're just going to keep rolling with our percent is part over total. So it says find the percent of total calories from fat. These are both off of my math lab. So percent equals part over total. So let's do this one. So there's the calories, and there's the calories from fat. So the part is 10 over the total, which is 80, and then don't forget to multiply by 100. All right, so 10 divided by 80 is the decimal, and you got to multiply 100 to get the percentage. So did you guys get 12.5%? All right, let's try this one. So right here, the line. Ooh, this is very fast. Oh, it's peanutty. So you have the percent is going to equal 130 calories is the part over the total of 190, and then don't forget you have to multiply it by 100. The calculator gives you the decimal, and then you've got to remember to multiply it by 100 to get to the percent. So that's going to give you 68, I'll just call it 0.4%, because I don't know, I don't remember how far they want you to round it to on my math lab. Oop, hold on, let me roll over so you can see it. So you have 130 is the part over 190. Don't forget to multiply it by 100. And this is what my calculator looks like, so 68.4%. All right. Try another one. All right, another type. So this is very well represented on the test and on the final. It deals with sales tax and pricing. All right, this is on your formula sheet for the final and for the test. Okay, depending on the problem, the purchase price and the original price are the same thing. It's like what the sticker says before tax. Okay? So total price is purchase price plus sales tax. Okay? So we'll look at these formulas as we go work through the problem. So sales tax is 8% of an item. So you're buying a graphing calculator for your intermediate algebra class, and the price of the Texas Instrument calculator is $96.50. So this is the sticker price. All right, this is the purchase price, the sticker price, the original price. This is the price without the tax. So to find the taxes, you're going to take whatever the tax rate is, in this case 8%, of the sticker price. So this is how we're going to find the taxes. All right? So this is the sales tax. Is the rate of the tax times the purchase price. So that's what that formula means. So 8% of $96.50 is $7.72. This is the taxes that we're going to pay. All right? So this is this formula. We just used the second one. So the total price is going to be the sticker price plus the sales tax. So we're going to pay, this is what the sticker price was, and then we're going to add the sales tax onto it. And so this is going to be the amount that they charge our credit card or our student account. $104.22. So that'll be the total charge. So now we know what the first two formulas are. Okay? So yesterday, Joy bought a book at Barnes & Noble's. The book was $27. Sales tax was 8%. What was the total price that Joey had to pay? All right, so first thing we need to do is figure out how much the tax was. So it's 8% times the sticker price. All right, so 27 times 8%. Did you guys get $2.16? So it's the tax rate times the sticker price. So this is what tax is. So then the total price is going to be the sticker price plus the sales tax. So it looks like he was charged $29.16. All right, definitely you're going to have some problems like that on the test and on the final, for sure. Okay? All right, so let's talk about sales. So oftentimes they'll be presented in two different ways. Okay? The first way, they're going to say, okay, well, if something's 20% off, how much are you saving? All right? So if we're going to find 20% of $46. So we have this sweater. It's on the 20% off rack. So what's 20% of 46? So it looks like it's going to be $9.20 off. So then the sale price is the original price minus the savings. So the sale price is going to be the original price minus the savings. So 46 minus 920, there's the price we'll pay before tax, $36.80. Now that's usually the way I think about it. However, if you're saving 20% of the cost, then you have to pay the leftover part. So if you're saving 20%, then you're paying 80%. So if you wanted to figure out how much you're paying, you could have also just said, well, what's 80% of 46? And then you're going to see you're going to get the same answer. So 80% of the sticker price is the $36.80. That's what you're going to be paying. Right? Does that make sense? So if you get 20% off, that means you still have to pay 80%. So that's another way to calculate it. All right, so go ahead and you do this. So pause the video and see how you do on the you try, okay? Go ahead and pause and talk about the cell phone. Right, so to do the total price, we have to do the sales tax. You're going to be finding what 4% of $149 is. So 4% of $149 is $5.96. So there's our sales tax. All right. So the total price is going to be the sticker price plus the $5.96. So that's what's going to be charged to your credit card, $154.96. It's going to be the sticker price plus the tax. Okay. We'll go ahead and try this. Oh no, we should probably do this one together. Okay. So a new Wii game had a sticker price of $50, but of course there was tax on it. So when they went up to purchase it, they were told that $53.75 was going to be charged their credit card. So does everyone see that they had to pay $3.75 in tax? Right? This was the sticker. This is how much they were charged, so the difference had to be tax. So it says find the sales tax percentage. Well, it's a percent of the total equals the sales tax. Percent of the total is the tax. So to figure out the percent, we divide by 50. Okay, so 375 divided by 50, that's the decimal, right? And then we got to multiply by 100 to figure out the percent. So this gives us 0.075, and then we can't forget, you got to multiply by 100 to give you the answer down here, which is 7.5%. Okay, why don't you try this one? So there's some new shoes that you just loved. They were $120, which is too much to pay for shoes, but they're 30% off. So what's the discount? And then what would you be paying before tax? So the discount would be 30% of the $120. That's how much you're going to be getting off. So it looks like they're going to be $36 off. Okay, so it's going to be $36 off. So now, before tax, it's going to be $120 minus 36. That's how much you're going to be paying before tax. So it looks like you're going to be paying $84 before tax. Now let's just check it. If it's 30% off, that means you're paying 70%. So 70% of 120, again, is $84. So there's lots of those up and running for my math lab for you guys to practice. The other type of problem is some commission. And I see a little typo. So right now I want you to add a comma with 3 zeros after that 212. Because $212 would be pretty cheap house. All right. So we talked about, in class, I wanted to talk about jobs that are based on commission and how does commission work. So a lot of people usually say like car salesmen are based on commission. I know some furniture stores are based on commission. Home sales are based on commission. So basically your income is a percent of your total sales. So real estate is a pretty popular one. And so let's pretend that we get, as a real estate broker, you get about 6% of your total sale. So if you sell a home for $212, you make 6% of that sale. I remember when we bought our house, we had to pay our realtor 7%. That was the rate we had to pay our realtor. They made 7% of the sale. So, that's a lot. $12,720. So that was added to our mortgage, and then we had to pay that out through our realtor. Our house was not that expensive though. So 6% of $212,000 that's how much you would make. Now, you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of money, but these realtors aren't selling a house every day, right? So even if they sell one a month, they're going to be doing really well. But I don't know. I don't know how often people sell homes at that rate in this area. All right. So salesperson receives the commission. So this is what they're making. Okay, here's the formula for commission. So your commission is your rate times the total sales. So we know that their commission is $876. We know their commission rate is 3%, and we want to know how much did they have to sell in order to get that $876. So to get the total by itself, we'll undo multiplication by division. 876 divided by 3%. So they had to sell, I don't know what the product is, but $29,200 to make $876, right? So if the commission is, the rate is really small, boy, you got to sell a ton just to make some money. So they sold $29,200 and their paycheck was $876. So that's how commission works, and that formula will be given to you. You don't have to memorize it, but it just kind of makes sense. You just make a percent of your total sales. The other big thing that you guys should really be aware of is how gross pay and net pay work. So this is the pay stub that I just pulled up online, but if you look any of your pay stubs, you should look. They'll look something similar to this, where they're going to be taking out your FICA medical, they're going to be taking out FICA Social Security, your federal taxes. Now this is California, yours would be New York or Pennsylvania state tax, and then this just looks like something that has to do with the company. All right, and these are two different statements, but both of them, you can see you have your FICA, your FICA medical, Social Security, federal tax, and state tax. Those are two completely different stubs that I found online. So what I want to know is, what is gross pay and what is net pay? What do those mean? Now you can see them on both of these statements. So right here it says year total gross, and then here's the year total net pay, and this is the deductions. So we've got gross and then we have net. So what's the difference? So gross pay is what you actually like, the money that you've earned. So this is the total earned is your gross, but that's not what your take home is. That's your net. So the net is the total take home. After deductions. So it's pretty depressing, I'm not going to lie, to look at what you make versus what your net is, what you get to take home. All right? So if you look at this formula, this says your net, that's what you get to cash, your net pay equals your gross pay, and the W is your withholdings. And these are the deductions that are taken out to pay for taxes. They're called your withholdings. Deductions taken out for taxes. And so you're oftentimes are going to be asked to figure out what your percent that you're actually making. Okay? So your withholdings, or like what percent were taken out of your taxes, or what percent are you keeping? What percent's being taken out, and what percent do you get to keep? So to figure out your withholdings, you need to know it's going to be a rate times your gross. Okay? So the percent, this is how I'm going to think about it. So the percent of withholdings okay, well, you're going to get to take home a part or a part that's taken out over the total that you made. So let's look at this. So this is the withholding or the deductions. So this part was taken out of the total that you made, the $5,000 that you made. So this is the part that was taken out, and this is what out of your total that you made. So let's look at what the percentage is. And don't forget, you got to multiply by 100. So this person is getting taken out about 29% of their paycheck gets taken out and goes towards taxes. So this is about 29% gets withheld that you don't even get to see. Mine is a little over, I think it's like 33% of my paycheck gets taken goes towards taxes. It's a lot. It's very depressing. So here, let's try this one. All right. I always just use the year total. So your paycheck's broken out into like your yearly, and then this is just for this statement. Okay, so I always just look for the year total gross, year total deductions, year total net. So if I ask you at what rate, what percentage of your gross is taken out in withholdings. So a percent is a part over the total. Okay? So the part that gets taken out is your deductions or your withholdings. So this is what they took out of the total $6,800. So what did this person get taken out of their paycheck and go towards taxes? All right, so I just put that into my calculator. And remember, this is the decimal, and you've got to multiply it by 100 to figure out the percentage. So this is pretty decent. This person has 22.9% of their paycheck taken out for withholdings. If you want to think about it as W equals R times G, that's fine as well. Percent times your gross is equal to the withholdings. So this is the percent times the gross is what's being held out with withholdings. It'll get you the exact same thing. Okay? All right. Wrap this up a little bit. So go ahead and let's do a little practice with this one. Go ahead and give it a try. All right, so factory worker, this is out of my math lab, 26% of her weekly pay withheld for taxes, insurance, and pension. All right, so this is her gross. Gross is the amount of money that you're making altogether. It's not what you get to cash. So 26% of this is withheld. Okay? So 26% of that $860 is withheld. So she doesn't get to keep this much money. So this is what her paycheck, this is what she earns, but then this is what is taken out. What will be her net pay? Her net pay is what she gets to cash. So it looks like she'll get to cash $636.40. This is her net. So this is her net. and this is her withholdings. Okay? All right, let's just do a little bit of review. This is just a little bit of review that we've done. We're going to look at some more, something weird happened there. We're going to look at some just label reading, just a little bit of review of stuff that we've done. So if you're happy with your service, you usually want to tip between 15 and 20%. So let's say I was at breakfast and my bill came to $24. How much should I leave on the table if I want to leave a 15% tip or 20% tip and I don't want to use my calculator? All right, so remember, to find 10%, we shift the decimal one place to the left. To find 10%, we shift the decimal one place to the left. So 10% of $24 is going to equal $2.40. 10% is always the one you want to go to. All right, so let's do 20% then. So 20% of $24, you're just going to double that. So there's a 20% tip. All right, if we want to find 5%, we take half of that. So I'll write this over here. So 5% of $24, we're going to take half of that. So that would be $1.20. So if I want to find 15%, I'm going to add the 5% and the 10%. So 15% will equal the 5% plus the 10%. So 15% would be $3.60. Okay, so that's how you can find these without your calculator. Okay. So let's say I was shopping at Macy's and I took a sweater, a $42 sweater off a rack that said 50% off. And then I had a coupon that says take an extra 50% off the sale item. So how do those coupons work? All right, so if you have your sweater and you put it on you have a 50% off rack. So 50% of $42. So without the coupon, you're going to pay $21. Okay? Because it was already on this 50% off rack. But now you have a 50% off coupon. So you get an extra 50% off. So an extra 50% off of $21 is, let's do this, 50% of 21 is an extra $10.50 off, is $10.50 off. So $21 minus $10.50 will be $10.50. So the sweater will end up being $10.50 before tax. I'll show you what I wrote. So that's how those coupons work. Okay? That's how those coupons work. So I have a Michaels coupon in my office. I looked one up on my phone. So I want to just play with that scenario really fast. So framing orders are ridiculously expensive at Michaels, right? They're ridiculous. So you never want to get anything framed unless you can go to Michaels and get a coupon or wait for your coupon in the mail. So the coupons that I have look something like this. Someone's sending me stuff through Remind. So get 60% off plus get an extra 20% off. So there was one that I had gotten, and then this one I also had 50% off plus get an extra 50% off. So some people look at those and say, well, those are the same coupon, 60% off and then 20% off, 50% off, and then an extra 30% off. It's tempting, right, to think that those are the same, but they're not, all right? They're not at all. So we have a $480 framing bill, and no one should spend that much on getting something framed. So let's look at these two coupons. You ready? So it's $480. So let's look at this coupon first. It says you get 50% off right away, and then an extra 30% off. So 480 times 50%, you get $240 off. I don't know why I wrote a percent there. So we have $480, and it's 50% off. So that's going to be $240. But then the coupon says, but wait, you get an extra 30% off. So what is 30% of $240? So 30% of $240 is an extra $72 off. So you have $240 minus an extra 30% off. So $240 minus 72. So now we're only going to be paying $168. So now we're going to be paying $168. Okay? If we get 50% off and then another 30% off, that's what the bill is going to come to. Now, let's pretend though, because you have all these different coupons in your phone, let's pretend you decided that you didn't want to use this one that you found, you wanted to use this one. 60% off, but then you get an extra 20% off. All right? Are they the same? Are they different? They're different. Even though it looks like they both add up to 80%, they don't. All right, so we get 60% off $480 from the start, okay? So let's look at that. 60% of $480 is $288 off, all right? Is $288 off. So 480 minus 288, that means we're going to be paying $192. Okay? But then the coupon says, wait, you get 20% off extra. Now we get an extra 20% off. Okay, so 20% of $192. Let's see what else we get off. So 20% of $192 is $38.40 off. Okay, so it's going to be 192 minus 38.40. So 192 minus 38.40 is $153.60. So do you see there's a difference with these coupons? So it is wise to work through it. I mean, you're going to be saving over $6. Why wouldn't you save over $6 if you can save over $6? Whoa, it's even more than that. Let's see how much you'd be saving. 168 minus 153.60. If you holy smacks, $14. So it's worth your time to work through the coupons to see which one is better. You'll be saving just about $15, more than that when you calculate the tax, just by being a smart shopper. Okay? So very smart to look before you use the coupons, because there's so many of these online that you can get on your phone. You get to choose. They're not going to choose for you, so make sure you're wise and calculate how much you're going to get off. All right. And then real quick, just to review, this is the rest. Seems like I put in a lot of review in here. Let's see. We'll see if we can wrap this up in 15 minutes. So how do you find 20%, right? 10% is the go-to. So 10% of $86 is $8.60. So we double that. We don't need our calculator. So we're going to double that to get 20%. So that's going to be 860 plus 860. Looks like that's going to be $17.20. All right. So 15% tip is going to be 10% plus 5%. So 10% is 860. We just calculated that up there. 5% will be half of that, so 430. So 860 and 430 is going to be $12.90. Okay? And when I was looking up sales tax, I thought this was interesting. I didn't realize that taxes were different depending on where you lived in the counties of New York. So Steuben County is 8%, but if you lived in New York City, you'd be paying 8.875%. So it's higher. It's higher in different counties. They said the average, if you add up all the different taxes in all of the counties and divide by the number of counties, the average is 7.94. So we pay a little bit above average living in Steuben County. Anyway, so Joey's going to the prom, and his tux rental is $179. So what would be the total that my credit card would be charged in Steuben County? So let's figure out what 8% of $179 is, and that's going to be our tax. So it looks like tax on the tux will be $14.32. So the total that's going to be charged my credit card will be $193.32. Now, to rent the same tuxedo in New York City, it's not going to be much more, but a little bit more. You'd be paying 8.875% times the 179. So what's tax on that in New York City? It's not that much higher, but it's a little higher. So they would round it to the nearest penny. So that would be $15.89. You'd round it to the nearest hundredth. So if we were renting that tux in New York City, we'd be paying $194.89. So a little over $1 more just by buying it in a different, or renting it in a different county. Okay. And then the labels. I don't know what this was say. All right, well, we'll figure something out. So let's see. So you're eating a Hot Pocket. So let's say you eat only one Hot Pocket. Okay. There's 2 in a container. There's 2 in a box, but each one, servings per container is 2. So each serving is going to be 320. Each Hot Pocket's 320 calories. You drank your Coke again, and then we looked at these Doritos from the last time. So let's say we eat only one Hot Pocket. Not sure what it says here. Let's say for lunch, we finished 3 items, but we're limited to a 2,000 calorie diet. What percent of your allotted 2,000 did you eat for lunch? Okay, so we ate 320 calories in the Hot Pocket. The Coke is 240. And the Doritos are 150. Okay, so it looks like you had 710 calories for lunch. So what percent, so the percent of the calories that you've eaten out of the 2,000 would be the part over the total. So 710 out of the divided by the total, and then don't forget you got to multiply by 100. So the percent of the calories you've eaten for 5%. That's how many calories you've eaten. I'll show you what I did. So I've got 710 out of the 2,000. I pop that into my calculator. And don't forget to multiply by 100. Okay? Last little tidbit. Let's see what this says. Okay. So how many milligrams of sodium did you consume? So let's just work through a couple of these, okay? So how many milligrams of sodium? Let's see where the sodium is. So you have 700 milligrams for the Hot Pocket, 75 milligrams for the Coke, and 180 milligrams for the Doritos. So how many milligrams did we have? 700 plus 75 plus 180. So we had 955 milligrams of sodium. Do you remember how to find the recommended? It's in the little chart. And for sodium, if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet, it's 2,400 milligrams. That's what that says. And I'll make sure on the test you can read that really, really well. That's kind of hard to read right now, but it's 2,400 milligrams are recommended for a 2,000 calorie diet. So what percentage did you have? The part over the total is your percent. And don't forget to multiply it by 100. So 955 divided by 2,400 times 100. It looks like you had like 39.8%. So 39.8% of your salt that you've consumed for the day. Okay, so let's just repeat this because then you'll be ready for the test. So for carbs, it looks like we had 35 grams, 65 grams, and 17 grams. Okay, so it looks like we had 35 plus 65 plus 17. So we had 117 grams of carbs. Recommended for a 2,000 calorie diet is right there, 300. Do you see that? It's right under the Dorito listing. So we had 300 grams. So the percent is 117 out of 300. Okay, part over the total. So this is 0.39, but forget, you've got to multiply it by 100 to get to the percentage. That's a decimal. There's the percent. All right, last one. So then you'll definitely be ready for this test and for the final. It talks about fat. All right, so for the Hot Pockets, it's 15 grams of fat. There's no fat in the Coke, but 8 grams of fat in the Doritos. So 15 plus 8 was 23 grams. All right. Total fat recommended. Let's look at the bottom of that Dorito ad. So 65 grams are recommended if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet. Do you see that? All right. So we had 20, I'm sorry, we're skipping ahead. So 65 grams. So what percent of the total did we consume? So 23 over 65 times 100. Part over the total is our percent. Part divided by total times 100. So that's 35.4%. Is that what you guys got? So 35.4%. And they asked, does your percent add up to what the percentage that they were given? So this is 23%. And then over here it was 12%. So does our answer make sense? Yeah, 35.4%. They got 35%. They just rounded it to the nearest whole number. We rounded it to the nearest tenth. So those percentages off those labels make a lot of sense. Okay. All right. We did it. It's barely under an hour, but it's our last video. So here I want you guys to soak it all in. You ready? Here we go. Okay, there it is. Soak it all in. Woo! There's our celebration. Woohoo! Yes. That's how I feel right now. That's how you guys should feel right now. It's like watching fireworks. You did it. Congratulations, everyone. You survived quarantined math. Let me know if you guys have any questions. The review, I'll have that posted. I'll have it posted by probably Saturday night with the key and give you an extra day or two to look at it. The test will be on Wednesday. I'll put out times for you to pick. And then just let me know. Monday, there's nothing to do but review, so feel free to Zoom me. Send me a message that you want to Zoom, and we can answer any questions that you have on that review. All right, everyone, take care. Have a good weekend.